Liverpool
boys.
versus everybody. Um, Here to dissect for the last time and talk a bit more about this kind of massacre, if you will, in Serbia situation that happened. Joining me today again, Jams and Gary. Jams, how you feeling, man?
Not too good, not too good really. Shit result in it.
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, pretty similar to Jams. I mean, just
Copy and
depressed right
paste.
now. Depressed.
Yeah, so let me start with Gary, man. We always try to start. Well, I always try to start with the lineup, and just tell me what you
Mm.
thought about the lineup. Were you confident? Did you think, oh shit, here we go, it's going to be some issues? Talk to me about that.
Well, I mean, when I first saw the lineup, I'm thinking, all right, cool. We've just had a very intense game against Arsenal at the Emirates. So I'm thinking, okay, Lallana's coming back in. I know I'm not his biggest fan, but Sturridge, Firmino has to be his best. Maybe give him a rest so he can come back at his best for Fulham. And I'm thinking, good lineup. Matip, obviously, we shouldn't have too many troubles there. But as soon as the game started, it was awful, absolutely awful. I mean, from Alisson, I mean, I don't play. Everyone's using Lallana as a scapegoat and all this stuff, but it doesn't matter if it was Lallana was poor, but from top to bottom, even Alisson should have done better in the second goal. From top to bottom, from Alisson to Mohamed Salah, every single player was poor on that pitch yesterday. They weren't at their best. I don't know if it was complacency or whatever it was, but I was just disappointed with the um, with the performance because I did kind of look at the team after and think, yeah, maybe we should have gone Firmino or Gomez, because this is probably a bigger game than Fulham because Fulham we should be fine at Anfield in the Premier League and them to make a few changes. I was thinking, play your full team here and then maybe you can bring like a Shaqiri and a Keita. But no, there wasn't any excuses. That team should be good enough to beat Red Star
Yeah,
Belgrade away.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. Jams.
yeah. I agree with the way Gary ended. Really, that team was good enough to beat Red Star. Really, if that team's not good enough, then God knows we don't deserve to go through because Salah, Mane, Sturridge, all internationals. Milner, Wijnaldum, they're two finalists. So yeah, man. I don't know. When I saw the lineup, I thought it was okay, to be honest. I thought Trent would get the rest, and I thought Trent were very good against Arsenal, so I thought Trent wouldn't start. And to be honest, I wanted Fabinho to play. I wanted Fabinho. One, he played great
Yep.
against them in the first leg, but two, play through the bad game, like get over it and play.
Yeah.
He's played hardly any football this year, so it doesn't make sense. But instead he went with Milner, and Milner with Jordan started the season off excellently. And maybe after that injury that Milner had, he's not come back the same. So, but yeah, exactly what Gary said. We were poor from top to bottom. Everyone was poor. And from when you bring in a Origi on, it shows desperate measures.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't spend a great deal of time talking about City. I know a lot of people keep them in their minds, and I bring it up to say this. You brought up Origi, and you look at that bench, and before the season started, we're saying, oh, our depth is much better, and maybe we can rival City. But at that game, I know Shaqiri wasn't there, but if that's the main thing you're leaning on, oh, we didn't have Shaqiri, we couldn't win the game, then Liverpool's got big problems. And I think when you look at City, they've got De Bruyne out, they've got Gundogan, they've got the striker. I forget his name right now. I mean, they got a lot of guys out, and they're still they're still able to just fit in certain dudes. So not having Shaqiri, I think, is something that it needed to happen. Let me ask you that, Jams, on Shaqiri. Do you think that was the right decision? And in hindsight, it's always 2020, of course. Do you think that's a big miss in that game? Do you think if we had him, the game would have gone differently? Or is it just about the guys on the field should have had enough to win the game?
Yeah, I think the guys in the field should be able to beat Red Star. Like, as good as Shaqiri is, and I know it's not just Shaqiri, it's missing Shaqiri and Keita, and Ox, all three of them. But I get why he didn't play Shaqiri in the sense that it was a big game, and whether that was to become really hostile and they were really, really taboo, and maybe that would affect the whole team. I think Klopp was thinking, save him, and then Klopp, I reckon I did, and I reckon Klopp, we underestimated them. We kind of thought, oh, we'll beat them in midfield with Milner and Wijnaldum's engines and Lallana's meant to be creativity, and we'll beat them. So I think that's what he was probably thinking, to be honest. and then maybe around half time we're thinking, shit, we should have brought Shaqiri, but maybe it was the right decision, maybe it wasn't. It's hard to say, isn't it? Because we've lost now, so it probably wasn't. But if we'd won 1-0, then we'd probably say it was the right decision.
Right. Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, look, Shaqiri's creativity is always going to be a miss, and I think when you look at that midfield, Lallana, Milner, Wijnaldum, kind of especially Milner, in this sort of game when the team's going to sit back and it's a hostile atmosphere, Wijnaldum, even as well, Lallana, the ball was just moving so slow in midfield. We weren't moving the ball quick enough. There was again no link from our midfield to attack. There was no creativity for us to even get chances. There was no chance for Mane and Salah to even run in behind. Someone to play a ball over the top, someone like a Shaqiri who can play that little ball over the top for Salah and Mane to run in behind the pace. And yeah, we do miss Shaqiri, but there's no excuse for that shambolic performance. I was more annoyed with the second half than the first half, because the first half, okay, we conceded 2 goals. All right, that happened. But the second half, what annoyed me more was that there was no urgency in our play to even get back in the game. That's what annoyed me more because I was literally going crazy once. I don't know what I was doing. I was literally going crazy because we were moving the ball so slow. We're 2-0 down and we're acting like we're winning 3-0 up. We're acting like we're 3-0 up. There was just no urgency in our game. It was just I couldn't believe what I was watching. I don't know. This was one of the worst performances. This is the worst performance of the season.
Yeah,
but this is one of the worst performances in Klopp's
Liverpool one of the worst
era as well. Because the way we played from start to finish, there was a lack of fight. There was a lack of spirit. It looked like the players just didn't give a shit. It looked like they didn't want to be there, and that's what annoyed me. The second half for me was just. I know we could see 2 goals in the first one, but the second half just showed to me that these players just didn't give a shit on that night. They couldn't be arsed at all. We barely created any chances. I mean, if Sturridge scores that 1-0, it's a different game, and we're probably going to win that. But it doesn't matter. The amount of corners they had as well in that first half. How many corners did they have to finally get right in the end? And Alisson, I think he should be saving that in the second goal or the second one. Van Dijk, what's he doing for the first goal, which ends up being a corner? Why is he heading it back into play? And then they get a shot, they get a corner, they score. Second one, Milner misplaces a pass. It was like it was just I don't know. It was like a friendly. It was just shocking. I mean, and it's just so this match is so important because that we win that and we're basically through. So I don't know what we just seem to make things so difficult for ourselves every single time. And we probably have to go beat Paris away and we're through, or we have to get a point away at Paris and beat Napoli. We just make things so difficult. If we won, right, we would have been relaxed. Those 2 games would have been just for us to try to get top of the group. So
yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I mean, if Liverpool put up a good performance and a team is just better than us, then you can't be mad at that. But in this situation, just didn't fight. There was no fight there, man. Very lackadaisical, and first game in a long time, all season, that the defense just didn't live up. And I think in the past, the defense, we've been kind of riding that, a bit of luck and defense. Let's be honest. And to see, we talk about in that second goal, there's a plethora of guys that fall. Milner giving the ball away, Genie not taking a yellow card, Matip's backpedaling like he's a defensive back in American football. I mean, I don't get what he's doing there. So there's a lot of issues in that game. I got to ask you guys, Klopp, to have your team come out looking like that, I don't give a damn. Like, you're the manager. Your team should not be playing like that in the away ground. That's 3 losses in a row in away matches in Europe. There's something to be asked about Klopp. Like, why is your team not prepared? And I get that Milner and Genie have both had great seasons so far, but it's Milner. We get it. But, I mean, can they really play these many games without a rest? And I get it. There's not much to rest with. At the same time, they look very tired mentally and physically, and I think that's an issue. Not that it's panic moment right now, but I think there are some questions to be asked. I guess my main question to you guys is: there's been a lot of talk about Buvac and him not being around, and our attacks suffering for it. Do you guys think twofold here? Do you guys think that there's some truth to that? And I'm playing a little bit devil's advocate, but how great is Jurgen Klopp? And I say that because Buvac has been with him since his whole career. And he's kind of instilled this offensive, crazy press, attack, or whatever. Without Buvac, is that why we're suffering going forward? Gary?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't think that's the truth because I don't think Klopp, I don't think Salah or Firmino Mane can go from one season to scoring goals, going crazy, making the right pass, to then just not being able to play football.
I agree.
You know, you know, they're footballers. They should be. I don't think there's nothing to do with. There might be truth in Buvac with something to do with tactical or whatever. I don't know. You know, I can't really tell.
Yeah.
That's why all these fans have been saying, yeah, Buvac is this is why Klopp's. That's why we're not attacking well. All this. I mean, how do you know what part he had in that? He must have had a big part, definitely. But how do you know what sort of part was it defending or attacking? We don't know that. But you know, it's not Klopp's fault that Salah, Firmino, Mane. I mean, especially Salah right now, or even Mane, those two. I should include the front three. I'm not picking anyone. Those front three. It's not Klopp's fault that they can't seem to make the final ball right or to make the pass right. I mean, look, Salah's through 93rd minute to make it 2-1 at Emirates, flip it through to Mane, and then we leave Emirates with a 2-1 win in the 94th minute and we're buzzing. That can't be a part of Buvac's plans or Klopp's plans, you know. It's not Klopp's fault that Salah can't make a simple pass, you know. It's none of that. I think they're just out of form right now. And I mean, we've got those goals against Red Star, Cardiff, and thinking, yeah, you know, back now, the front three are back, and then we go to Arsenal again, very, very sloppy. We go to Red Star, disgraceful, shambolic performance. So now, what are we going to do for Fulham now? You know, I mean, for Fulham, I want to see a big performance from the team. I don't want to see the scrappy 1-0, 2-0 win with us just maybe scraping a win here. I want to see a proper performance of us playing the football that we've been playing. But you know, I don't think there's any truth to Buvac's thing because we're 2 points off the top of the Premier League. We're unbeaten after 11 games. Our defense has improved massively. We've conceded 5 Premier League goals, and a few of them just being individual mistakes. So there's nothing wrong. There's nothing that's really bothering me with Buvac at the moment. Of course, I would like to have him here, but what's gone is gone now. We just have to look forward. And you know, obviously, these fans on Twitter acting like there's some these tactical pundits and all these lot talking about him like he's some god. Jurgen Klopp is a world-class manager. And I think there has to be some blame for him last night because for me, that team should not be going out. Daniel Sturridge should not be playing that game last night. That is a massive game. That is as important as a game against Manchester City at home. Because look at the situation we put ourselves in now. That we need to go to PSG and win, or we need to go to Napoli as on the final day and win. And you know how good Italian teams are at defending, and how when they need the point, Italian teams will get the point. You know. That's the way their football works. So, I mean, I was quite optimistic even after the Arsenal match, after it a day or so. But now I'm just a bit quite annoyed after that performance, and I'm struggling to see a few positives in this situation.
Yeah, and rightfully so. James, I'll come to you and then I'll say what I have to say.
Well, I don't think it's his fault that he's got him going has made the massive effect. I think we all Liverpool fans at the moment. We're looking for someone to blame because it's such a, you know, it feels like there's like a, you know, I was saying to my friend, it feels like there's a spell on us. It doesn't make sense. I've gone through every excuse. I thought they were lethargic. Then they went on the international break, and then I'm thinking, how can they be lethargic? A lot of them had short World Cups. Trent played 1 game. Milner didn't go to a World Cup. Salah and Mane both played 2-3 games, came back. You know, like Firmino didn't start a single game. Like if we're tired, then why Man City tired? And you know, even like so. You know, I made so many excuses. You know, well, we're gonna hit into gear, and really and truly, I don't think we've had one real good performance all season. West Ham was good. And maybe PSG, but you still let
I think even Tottenham was a very good performance.
Yeah, Tottenham away from home.
I think Tottenham away we were very good, but again, match, we were wasteful. We were wasteful in that match. That's the problem. I mean, Chelsea away we played a good game. We had so many chances to score. Again, wasteful. That's the problem.
And I think that's part
of these players aren't making the final pass.
Yeah, that's part of us not being good enough. There were times when we were blowing everyone away. And
we could have won all these games right now. We could be sitting on 11 games, 33 points. If our front three on fire, we could have won every single game. And I say that without any BS, you know, because I actually believe that we've missed so many chances this season, and you know, Arsenal have even scored more goals than us.
Yeah, people around me anyway that aren't Liverpool fans, their thoughts on Liverpool is your luck is running out. They seem to think that, and some of what they're saying I think is true. They seem to be thinking this season, maybe the last few games, we've been lucky. If Firmino doesn't hit the back of the net in the 93rd minute, they're out of the Champions League already. If Sturridge doesn't take a shot from 88 in the 88th minute from 40 yards out, we're going to be behind in the Premier League by a lot more. If Lamella just took that one chance, or you could go on and on and on. And Marvis puts away that penalty in the 88th minute, then all of a sudden, it's 6 points.
And James, the thing though, as well.
We have been lucky.
We have been lucky, but these games that we're talking about, how were we against 2-0 up against PSG? We go to they get 2-1 and we start sleeping like it's a preseason friendly. Tottenham away, we're 2-0 up. We could make it 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. We start sleeping and we've nearly been punished. Chelsea away nearly got punished. City away nearly got punished. So we need to fix up right now.
This is it. We need to fix up now. I feel like
this is now because we've got a run of fixtures now in the Premier League where we can get some points and really start to gather a bit momentum. And that's why we need to start from Fulham, fresh page now. Get a few goals, and then we can go into the international break with a bit more confidence and hopefully.
So I just want to ask a quick question. It's the same question I asked in the voice note in the conversation 2-3 days ago. Do you go in and buy anyone in January?
Well,
are you guys still saying no?
One performance for me doesn't really.
Is it one?
Doesn't really change.
Are we saying it's one?
No, I'm saying like after just one of those games, after just one game. That was before the Red Star. I don't want to be too reactionary, because there's a lot of Liverpool fans right now, saying, "Oh, Klopp this, Klopp that." Let's not be reactionary. Let's not act like fools. All right, we're still unbeaten in the league. We're still 8 wins, 3 draws, 0 losses. Still in our hands to finish to get past to the last 16 of the Champions League. We just need. There's a few worries right now. There is a few worries, but there's still a lot of reasons for us to be optimistic because defensively we're so good. We're really good right now, and there's just one thing that needs to click. One thing that needs to click, and when that clicks with the midfield attack, I think when Naby comes back from injury, I want to see if he starts getting into form. Then I promise you that our front three will start banging the goal because I think he's the link to our attack that will kind of just enable everyone to get more confidence.
Let me interrupt there because I think that's a good point to stem from, and I think is it. Are we running out of this whole, we need to wait, let guys bet in? Look, Naby got to step up. He's got to step up, and he's got to do it fast because no other team that's got new players, are having any of these kind of growing pains. I mean, maybe here and there, but, guys are fit and firing. I think, not to put too much added pressure on them, but we need to see what we assumed that we'd see from Naby very, very quick. Got to happen. It's got to happen soon. And I think what we see from him between now and January is really going to tell us, to answer your question, James, do we need to go into the window? That's going to show us. We know Lallana, we know what he can give us, and right now there's not much. Let me ask one of these questions in the comment section. Some really good questions. Or just comments. You guys mentioned last minute goals and stuff like that and luck. Look, I don't mind that because every team that wins the league, they need a little bit of luck. Let's not forget Sterling had a couple of last minute goals for them, and
You're gonna have to grind out wins in the Premier League if you're gonna win it. You can't win every game 4-0, 5-0.
Right.
So there's gonna be games where you're gonna have to score late winners.
Yeah, so I think that's something. And let's talk about Sturridge really quick. First of all, James, I'll come to you first. 2 questions again. Do you think he should have been taken off? And 2, has kind of his somewhat good form for us kind of overshadowed maybe periods of the game that he wasn't really good, and that miss against Red Star wasn't the only miss he's had like that this season. Let's be honest. And I think because we love Sturridge so much, we wanted to think this kind of feel good factors, feel good story. But is he a guy that's just really going to be better for us off the bench? I mean, is that what we're looking at?
I think the issue with Sturridge is, one, we have this nostalgia from 2013-14 where he was phenomenal, passing, change of pace, dropping shoulder, skills, agility. That Sturridge is gone. That Sturridge is finished. What we like to think that we might still have is a fox in the box, someone that doesn't miss sitters, someone that will coolly beat a keeper, and someone that will nutmeg a keeper. That Sturridge is now looking like he's also not here. I'm talking open goals against Chelsea. I'm talking on his left foot in Baldi, Red Bull, whatever the name is, yesterday. Open net, he hit it high and wide. And you don't expect that from a 28-year-old. You expect that from a Solanke, a Brewster, not from an England international that scored goals left, right, and centre. My issue with Sturridge is he's playing for a contract, and I don't actually think he's worth it. I don't think his wage is worth it. I don't think he's good enough to be a second striker to win you the league next season or whatever this season. I think with Sturridge, he doesn't fit the system. He doesn't have the energy to fit the system. He doesn't press to fit the system. He doesn't drop back enough to fit the system. And at the moment, you'd like to think when he comes on, he doesn't miss a sitter. That's what Sturridge is there for, to always put the ball in the net if it falls to him. And at the moment, he's not doing that. I do believe he should earn more minutes. I don't believe he's a starter, but I do believe he should come on in the 70th minute rather than the 85th minute. Secondly, no, I don't think he should have come off. I think that was a bit reactionary from Klopp and a bit angry with the sitter. But Sturridge was very selfish after he missed that. There was more.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. He was pissed off with himself, and rather than be a team player, and he's never been a team player, though everyone's had that criticised. But if I've made that miss, I feel that there's more pressure on us not losing, and it'll be my fault. So let me also try and make the team score rather than me just shoot from anywhere. There was 2 or 3 times where Trent was running it, someone was running into the box. I can't remember. Someone was running. Lallana was running in. He was open.
He shoots with the right foot.
He shoots, and then there was another time, and he shot. So I think Klopp was pissed off with him.
Yeah. When Trent was coming from the overlap, and then Trent gives. Yeah,
that's it. So the overlap and then Lallana running into the box.
Yeah,
that could have been. So I think Klopp was pissed off with him. I don't think decision to take him off. We were losing the battle in midfield, so I would have took off. I would have maybe thought about midfielders, and maybe brought Firmino on and played him as a 10, and it kept Sturridge because Sturridge, if you're 2-0 down, Sturridge kind of makes sense to keep on over 10, 15 minutes. But the way he was going on so selfish, I get it. And he's got a big ego, Sturridge, yes, man. And I don't know if we're going to give him a contract or not. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Gary, are we becoming too predictable, man? And you feel like in these games, defenses are saying, if we can put a lid on Salah, Mane, Firmino, there's not much else they can do to hurt us. Do you think we're too predictable?
I don't think we're too predictable because we're getting into those opportunities where we're getting into those good chances where it's just a final ball. I don't think it's other teams,
I agree.
Exposing us or stopping us or that. It's our own doing why we're not scoring those goals. It's our own doing because we're not thinking straight. We don't have that. And I'm not going to keep on blaming this midfield. There's no link to attack, but there's some truth to that. But the front three as well. Salah, make that pass. There you go. 93-minute winner.
Yeah.
You just won at the Emirates. Tottenham. Jung-Min Son should have had the penalty in the 95th minute in that game to make it 2-2. Imagine what that would have done. But we should have been 3-4-0, 5-0 ahead in that game. It's our own doing. PSG, so lazy. PSG were playing this no press game, 2-1 up. Go finish the game off. And we were playing in training, like having a kick about in a park or whatever, And then as soon as they score PSG, then we kick it up a level and we score 5 minutes later. That's all they needed. 5 minutes of pressure and they crumbled and we scored. So it's our own doing. That's why it's our own doing why we haven't been kicking, and that's why I'm confident that when it does happen, I would be more worried if it was our teams exposing us or teams, exploring our weaknesses, all that. That's why I'm not too angry at the moment because when those three up front all click together, then that's when we'll see the real Liverpool. That's when we'll see the Liverpool scoring goals. And can you imagine our attack on fire right now because the defense is so good. We won't concede goals. Imagine our attack as well. We'll be unstoppable. It doesn't matter what competition. So that's why I'm just so frustrated at the moment. But that's why I'm not going over the top and being reactionary because I know it's just one thing and no club will fix it. And I think it's just a confidence thing right now. I think it is. Every mistake, every misplaced pass is going on the player's mind and it's just added pressure to them. So that's why we need to put in a very good performance against Fulham. I know they're bottom league. I know, we'll say, okay, yeah, maybe this can be another step forward like we did against Cardiff or Belgrade. But let's see, let's just let's just score some goals. Hopefully we can get a good performance in. Hopefully the front three can get some more goals. And I'm hoping that he plays Shaqiri, Keita in behind Salah, Firmino, Mane, because it doesn't matter, what they're going to be doing. I think Fabinho, Shaqiri, Naby, this will be a brilliant midfield against Fulham. They're not going to do anything. They can't concede. They can't defend to save their lives. So let's just go all out. Let's absolutely smash them, and let's obviously go into international break with a positive mindset going into obviously the international break. Because after that, we've got some tough games. Our next 3 games are Watford away, PSG away, and Everton at home. So we've got some. Even though we're looking at Watford away, yeah, Everton we should win. still tough games. You know, every game is tough in the Premier League, so we can't take anything for granted. But no, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's just the front three right now. It's not clicking. I don't know what it is. I can't tell you. I don't know. I don't know. Klopp thinks he knows.
We're also losing midfield battles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. I mean, last night, I don't know what
Are we missing Henderson?
Well, let me.
What would have done last night? Listen. I don't think we would have done anything different apart from helping Milner and Wijnaldum or whoever pass the ball side to side. You know, he's the same as Milner and Wijnaldum in these sorts of games. They're not gonna move the ball quickly. They're gonna move it left and right and back. We need that player that's gonna unlock it. And that's Naby Keita. That's why he can't. He's gonna go to Guinea now. He comes back. We treat him. We treat his injury, get him through it, and he's gonna play this game against Fulham and fuck off back to Guinea on these shit pitches, you know, and he's gonna get injured again, you know, and that's what annoys me. That's why the club needs to have a go and tell him that he needs to stay for this break and get ready and train with us for the next few games that we have. You know?
It looks like Pep doesn't have trouble doing that. I don't know why Klopp can do it, but isn't it fascinating that after a couple of games where Fab was in the team, people were saying, "Who's Hendo? I don't even know who that guy is anymore." And the moment he has a bad game, everyone's saying, "Oh, we could have used Hendo this game," or he's a better player. He would have done this, that, and the third. At the end
reactionary. These reactionary fans.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think under Klopp, anytime we lose a game, no disrespect to the teams that beat us or draw with us, it's usually Liverpool beating themselves. Let's be real. It's usually us making it too easy for opposition. Nobody really is going to come to Anfield or at their place and really totally just dominate us unless it's us missing chances, giving the ball away. I mean, I don't know if everyone has a stat about how many balls we've given away this year, but it's atrocious. I mean, every game we're giving away, I mean, just lazy passes. Everything's behind the guy, and it's never to foot, really. And so, back to what you said about Buvac, Buvac has nothing to do with us missing chances or not being able to finish a pass in the final third.
Or not being able to pass a ball. The professional footballers, they can't forget. They can't forget to pass the ball over the summer.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, I mean, going back to the Premier League now, I think we've talked enough about Red Star. I'm exhausted from talking about Fulham. Again, this is a team that most fans would say, this is the game that we break out and score 4 or 5 goals. My question is, where are we getting that from? Where's that new form finally going to click in, and how and why would it be? So Jan, what would be your starting 11? And also, if you can throw in there just what you feel about Trent. Are people being too harsh because he's so young?
Yeah.
Or should we expect to get more from him?
Okay, so I think people are being harsh on Trent, to be honest, and a bit and stuff. So I think we're lucky that the competition that we're playing is such of a weak standard, I do believe, and it's at Anfield. I'm a person that likes players to play through the bad form if they can. If I do generally believe in them.
I think Klopp's the type of guy as well. He put in Trent in this game, but he didn't put Fabinho in, so.
Yeah, so I would go Alisson obviously in goal. I'd go Trent, Gomez, Virgil, Robertson. I don't like Matic, don't like Lovren. So if we're not going to have Klein, then I'll keep the back four. Midfield would be a whole different midfield. I'd have Fabinho in the holding role. If Naby seems 100%, I'd have Naby 100% back in. And it makes sense to put Shaqiri in there. I don't know if that's too attacking, but it shouldn't be. So yeah, yeah. And then up front, obviously,
Naby can do that role. He can win the ball back. He's not
box to box.
He's a box to box.
Yeah, and then
so you got your 6. So you got your 6, your box to box, and you got your attacking. That's perfect.
Yeah, and then Fabinho breaking you down. And I think that we need some consistency in the midfield. The chop and changing is no good. Man City seem to play. Everyone plays. Top teams don't chop and change in midfield so much. Yeah. We've been unlucky. Hendo again injured, and what's the name again? Keita and stuff. But I think we need to really get some consistency after the international break. And let's just hope that this is a turning point because we're still in the title race. We have played, just want to say quickly before I let you speak, we have played the hardest run out of all the other top 6.
Yep.
We, easily. I was reading the other day, we've played 4, I believe, or 3. Tottenham away, that's now done. Arsenal away, that's now done. Chelsea away, that's now done. We've also now played City and Arsenal. United, yeah. So, if we can carry on doing our thing and we find our form, we could easily win the league. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
That's a big shout, and I think we can as well. Will we? It's a different story. You got to really see what this team is made up over this course of the season, and when we get more into the holiday times, we really got to see what this team, what Klopp, after these many years or seasons he's had with Liverpool, what are we getting out of it? And I love Klopp just as much as the next guy, just as much as all you guys love him. But at the end of the day, it's 4 seasons, and he's got to bring something.
No, there's pressure on Klopp. I'm seeing people take the piss out. Yeah. There's pressure on Klopp. If Emre comes now and they win the League Cup and they get 4th, we're not going to hear the end of it. Emre's come out of nowhere. He's won a cup and in the 4th, if Klopp was to retire now and Pep was to retire now, they're uncomparable. You cannot compare them because of style of football, because one's a winner, and that's something that obviously Klopp needs to change. I love him as well. The way he plays, I love. But as Man United fans always say to me in the pubs, beautiful football doesn't win you trophies. Being a guy that hugs everyone after a game doesn't win you trophies. We have backed him. He's got the second most expensive keeper in the world. He's got the most expensive defender in the world. And at the moment, look at us. So he needs to.
Yeah. As I said before we came in, this Fulham game gives us a chance right away to bounce back and kind of put the wrongs right. Gerri, is there anything you would do, drastic or not, to change the formation maybe? Would you go 3 at the back? Would you do anything besides obviously putting in Shaqiri maybe in a 4-2-3-1? Is there anything else you would try? Some people in the comment section have said Mane on the right, which I don't know about that too much, but anything else you can think of that could help us as far as our attacking play and being a bit more fluid?
Yeah, well, I mean, the team that Jamz put out was very good. I'd probably go with that team as well. But then you look at Henderson, you're probably going to put Henderson back in. I don't know why. Just leave him out. Get Fabinho some more minutes against these lot. There's no need for Henderson to come into this game. He's not going to do anything different, is he? And Fabinho's a better player than him. And if we're going to play Keita and Shaqiri, Fabinho's going to be brilliant because he can actually slide on the floor and make interceptions, unlike Henderson. So. I mean, listen. I said to you, I'm quite. I know you said we're a bit harsh on Trent, but I think I'm getting quite annoyed with him a bit. Maybe I am being a bit too harsh, and I'm forgetting his age because he is just 20 right now. But he's been around for quite a couple of years now, so maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. But he just seems a bit comfortable. There's no pressure on him. Maybe Gomez sometimes coming at right back and the other centre back, but there's just not that pressure. I mean, Nathaniel Klein. He's been there for let's say he stayed 2 full seasons right at the club, 15-16 and 16-17 season, and he didn't put a single foot wrong. He never made a single mistake. One-on-one, he will eat you up. He's an animal. He is so good at one-on-one. He will not let you go apart. Yeah, he was not letting you go past. I mean, Trent, he came in right against Arsenal. He played against Arsenal, and then he comes in. He gets completely dominated. I wouldn't say dominated, but he loses Aubameyang, which I know Aubameyang is a very tough player to deal with, but he gets him behind Aubameyang once, twice, 3 times, same as Zaha and Rashford last season. Then Iwobi comes on, gets done by Iwobi. Welbeck comes on, he gets done by Welbeck as well. It's just there's something wrong. I mean, maybe he needs to put a bit of muscle on Trent. Bulk up a bit like Gomez. Because he needs to start showing a bit more maturity because. I know he's young, but he is playing a lot of games, and he's more experienced than other 20-year-olds because he's played over 50 games now for Liverpool Football Club, hasn't he? So I think Klein needs to come back in the fold, especially for games like Watford away or PSG away. These sorts of games. I know he's not the best going forward, but let's think about us defensively first. Let's think about us securing it because I think we see out that game 1-1. Trent's too for the Arsenal goal. Trent is too wide apart with the centre backs. You see how close Robertson's tucked in. Trent's too wide apart, and he allows Iwobi to make that ball inside. So I think Klein definitely needs to come back into the fold. Definitely,
I'd be all for that.
Well, let's be honest.
Maybe not this game. Maybe not for this game. I think I still put him. Arnold.
Does anyone know Klein's status right now? Is he sick? Is he hurt? What's the issue?
Just ill. He's just ill.
Is he ill?
Okay, well, let's be honest. Look.
He was ill for the Red Star Belgrade game, but that's it.
Listen. At this rate, Klein is gone in January. At this rate, he's gone in January. If you're not playing him in any of these games, when is he going to play? There's no Columbus or Carnival Cup, whatever it's called. That's not going on anymore. So he's not playing in these games that you would think are games that can come in. He's not playing in Champions League. He's gone in January to me. I agree with you, Gerri, actually, on the Trent thing. I wanted you guys' opinions. My opinion is I agree. I mean, you're playing with Liverpool Football Club. I know you're young. But got to see a little bit better from him. We have to see better from him, man. And it's frustrating when you get to the point where we're putting in the crosses, and it's not like we have a Dzeko or some kind of target man. I don't know why we're putting in crosses. But I mean, I get it. At that point in the game, it's a serious block to take.
We were clueless at that point in the game. We were clueless. We didn't know what to do. We had no idea. And Trent's he's not even been the same going forward. He's not been putting these killer balls in to Salah for which we've seen last season. He's not the same player. And same for quite a few other players, like the front three. They haven't been the same. I know Mane scored 6 goals and he's looked good. His goal return's good. But he's been so inconsistent for us. Even last season, very, very inconsistent. And if he wants to keep on, holding on to this contract extension, saying I'll leave it to my agent, you know what? Come on, show us if you're not even showing us that consistency right now. So it even deserves that to even deserve that new contract. So let's focus on football first and just leave this contract for sign that deal. Start focusing on football because there's no point in you going to one of these bigger clubs if you're not even going to be consistent at us. So that's another thing. I'm getting a bit annoyed with Mane not signing his contract. Firmino and Salah wrap the deals up. So
it's definitely a concern. I think at the end of the day, I think we've all said it here or there. I mean, it's not doom and gloom. We're still in a decent place in the league. Need to improve there too. And Champions League is not all but over. We still have 2 games that we need to get results in. But at the weekend, Sundays, plenty of time between now and then for Klopp to get his boys in check. James, give me a score prediction, man. We're at home, right?
Yeah, we're at home.
All right, give me a score prediction, James.
I never get them right, man. But fuck, I'm just
Who can with this team?
Yeah, 5. I'm hoping for a big result. I want a 5-0.
Okay, all right, Gary.
Yeah, 5-0 as well. I'm going 5-0. Big 5-0 win. Come on, man, because this is such an important game. 5-0.
I want to shut people up as well, man. People are getting on my case too much.
And that's the thing. That's the thing there. You know what I mean? And usually I don't care too much. But go ahead.
Arsenal fans as well. They're still celebrating one after 5. Go ahead. Might as well open up a open bus tour parade for the fans.
That's amazing.
But didn't they destroy Red Star in the Europa League or something like that last year?
No, they beat them 1-0.
Beat them 1-0.
We were even worse than Red Star. We looked like the Farmers last night, not Red Star. We look like I could come in that team and add a bit more creativity than Lala.
You're not lying, man. You're not lying. I mean, some of that.
I could actually move forward, run with it, and play a forward pass. All they're doing is just side to side, and that's what I can't believe it. Because when I look at other teams, City and even Arsenal, when they need a goal, how many times they've gone 1-0 down a few times, and they play this quick football. It's kind of like quick football, this overlapping wide football, which we weren't doing. We just played this Salah for minimum, so narrow where there's no space. Open up the pitch, stretch the pitch up, because that's how you get goals when you're playing against a low block defense. So we've got big games for Fulham, and Watford's away is a tough one because if we can win our next 2, Fulham and Watford, then we're looking in an even better position because Watford for me is going to be very, very tough. And I'm a bit not worried, but I'm a bit concerned at the state of form that we're currently in for Watford. And coming after a national break, if we can get three points there, that's going to be big because we can't afford to drop points anymore, especially after the draw against Arsenal. And we've got PSG after that, and next few games. So big game.
I think again, we've got a chance to right the wrongs, and we need to at this point. And I think it'll give us a good feeling, especially going into the international break. It's a team, of course, we should win, but I think again, every game is going to be tough, whether it's Liverpool making it tough on us or just us being Liverpool and people.
I also want to add one thing as well. I mean, the fans on Twitter, we're saying, okay, these top reds saying, look, we're in a good position and all this is top red stuff. It's only one game, but it's not been one game first for us all. We've been, as I said, quite poor over the last few games, even for the whole course of the season, most performances. But we have high expectations of this team. That's the thing that they don't understand. We're not Klopp 2016-17 or Rodgers 2015-16 or anything. It doesn't. I know we've been top of the league, but we've got high expectations as a team. We've got a fantastic goalkeeper. We've got a brilliant defense. We've got a really good midfield. We've got probably you could say the best front three even in the world. You could say when they're all firing. That's why we've got high expectations as a team, and that's why we want this team to go. This team could win the league. This team could get to the Champions League final, and they could win anything if they want. It's just about us getting that consistency and getting that winning mentality, that mindset back into this team. Not back in the we haven't won anything yet, have we? So and I kind of just want these two. I know FA Cup would be brilliant. I want a trophy, but this team can go on to win these Premier League or Champions League. They've got the ability, and that's why I'm hoping to see. They've got high expectations for us this season, and that's why I've been a bit disappointed because of some of the performances. But you know, a big game as you said, then hopefully we can just pick up some momentum and start winning matches again and playing our best football.
Yeah, let's try to stay positive, man, and hopefully next time we get back, we're sharing some positive thoughts. Jamz, Gary, man, I appreciate both of you guys always making time, and hopefully we can talk again at the weekend or sometime next week.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Take it easy, guys.
Safe, lads.
Thank you.